So this is PNF strengthening exercises. The first one we're going to do is rhythmic stabilization. So I'm going to have you hold your arm up there. We're doing this for your shoulder, obviously. So the first part of it, we're going to start. You're essentially holding there the whole time. I'm going to be applying some resistance to your arm at various points in a random motion. So we're going to start off closer to the shoulder joint. So we're going to start down here, and I'm going to push slow resistance there, not too much resistance, just to get you to have a feel for it. So we're going to start closer to the joint, and once you get used to that, then we go to more fast, quicker motions that you have to resist. Then once you get used to that, we're going to go closer to the hand here, so away from the shoulder joint, and we're going to start again with the slow contractions there, slow resistance, and as you can tell, this gets a little bit harder than when we're closer to the joint. So once you get used to the slow ones, then we can do more of the fast movements. So again, I'm not doing this in a specific pattern, I'm just randomly picking different directions to go. So that's the first one. Next we're going to do D1 and D2 patterns for the upper extremity and the lower extremity. So we'll start with the upper extremity. So this one, we're going to start with you kind of off the edge of the table here, and you're going to start pointing your thumb to the ground and your fingers kind of extended out. And so what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up in this position with essentially smelling in your elbow, I guess. So we're going to start in this position down here, and your fingers are going to be extended. Then we're going to rotate up, starting with your fingers. You're going to close your fingers into my hand, good, and then bending your elbow and rotating up into that position. So let's do a couple of those. So go up and down, up and down. So this, just remember to move your fingers there, starting with your fingers, then your elbow. So as you're down to your side, you're going to have your fingers extended, and then you're going to flex them as you're coming up, and then start by extending your fingers and coming down. Good. Now I'm going to resist you a little bit as you're going up. So go through that motion. Resist you there. Doesn't need to be a lot of resistance, just enough to make you go through that motion. Alright, so that's D1, the first pattern for the upper extremity. The second one is going to be, you're going to start, essentially you're going to be pulling a sword from your side, and you're going to be throwing it back. So we're going to start with your fingers closed, good, and then as you come up, starting with your fingers, coming up and rotating out, landing in this position. So start here, rotating out. Good. Make sure you're starting with your fingers first. And I'm going to resist you here. That's good. So you should be done with your rotational movement by about halfway as you're going through. Alright, so those are the two upper extremity ones. We're going to start now by going to the lower extremities. So for this one, you're going to start, you might want to slide a little bit off this way, yeah. You won't fall, hopefully. So you're going to start with your toes pointed down, and kind of your heel out a little bit, just like that. And you're going to essentially, starting with your toes, point up, and moving into that sort of motion. So again, I'm just helping you through that motion. You're always going to start with your toes or your fingers with these. So start by pointing your toes and then pulling them towards you, and then your knee movement and your hip movement. So go through those motions a couple times. I'm just going to resist you here. Good. So we're just trying to get this movement pattern back and strengthening some of those muscles. And because of the rotational movement, you're going to be able to get more muscle strengthening than just normal exercises. Okay. All right, so the next one, so that was D1. The next one is going to be D2. So this one's a little bit tricky. You're going to start crossing your legs, and essentially you're going to come up and out, and making sure that your foot kind of twists out as well. So this one you might feel like a hip cramp a little bit. So again, starting with your feet first and coming out that way. So still doing the knee and hip movement after. So I'm going to start here and just apply this pressure as you're going through. Again, I'm applying a little bit of resistance, but not a ton. Alright, so you can relax there. So as you're going, I'm going to say up and down, up and down, up and down. Alright, so those are the PNF strengthening exercises that we can do to help obviously strengthen your muscles and get a lot of that gross movement back.